Today is the day that I decide, that I make it a decision to transpose into the best part of my life. And I don't want to be different from anyone else, but I just want to be unique. I just want to be uniquely made. The day that I chose to transform my life was the day that I saw that life is worth living. The day that I chose this path is the day that I noticed that life is worth living. That life has meaning. Everything that has to do with us lies within us. Everything that has to do with you and me lies within me and you. Everything that makes us who we are lies within each and every one of us. Sometimes we don't get to see it. Sometimes we don't put ourselves out there to know that yes, this and that is what makes who I am. Because each and every one of us, we are uniquely different from each other. You see, God has a fine taste, and that's why He created you to be different, to be uniquely selected for this moment. We all have something in us that makes us purposeful in this life. There is this part of our lives that no one can live except us. And sometimes we question ourselves and say, who am I? Who are you? What do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Why were you made to live in this moment? Have you asked yourself that question? We can never be different from ourselves, but we can be different from each other. Life often has a tool that it uses upon us to make us feel like we are nothing, to make us feel like we are not unique, we are just an accident in this world. You were not an accident. You were not just created to just come and exist in this life. We're all created unique in a very special way that you and I do not know until we search. And no one else can make us see that. No one else can make us live that. No one else can make us exist. No one else can make us live the way we want to live. The way we have been ordained to live. You have to see it within you. You have to see it inside of you. And you have to start developing your mind to get there. Now let me tell you something about the moment I decided to be this. To be determined. It was the moment I noticed that life has a lot of meaning. That moment came when nothing was actually existing in my life. I saw everything like they were all gone. And it was as if I was alone. I was just alone. So in my deepest issues came out the miracle today. Someone saw me and said, you are a miracle. I can't believe you are a miracle. Years ago I thought you would be nothing, but right now you are something. And I envy you. I looked at him and said, don't envy me. I'm just living me. I'm just doing me. I'm just living the life I was created for. What are you created for? Are you here to just exist, or you are here to live? We all have a time frame in this life. Someone spoke to me about having purpose. Someone told me that you have to have a purpose in this life to be able to live the life you want to live. And I turned around and asked him, have you discovered the purpose of God for your life? The reason God made you to be in this moment, have you discovered it? We don't choose our purpose. God gave us a purpose. Imagine over 1,000,000 sperms. You survived it. You were the only one chosen. That's not just an accident. It's because you have something here that you have to exist for, that you have to live for. And that's why you're here. Make this moment the best part of your life by discovering who you are and the purpose for which you were made. We all have to understand the fact that we are not living all by ourselves. We are living according to a purpose. We are specially prepared for this moment of our lives. You listening to me now, you're prepared for this moment to hear what I'm about to say. Me speaking to you right now, I am prepared for this moment to impact on you and to impress upon you the life that you have a purpose in this world. Don't just live your life like you just want to exist. Live your life like you truly want to live. I was in a seminar the other day and someone asked me, what's the difference between living and existing? Trust me, over 50% of the world population are just existing. So many are not living at all. There's difference between running for a purpose and letting life direct you just about wherever you want to go to. If you can't control your life, life will control you. But don't let that be your case. That shouldn't be your case. You have to stand up and know that yes, this is the path for which I have been chosen and I've been selected. I've been made to live. If God doesn't have a purpose for your life, you won't be here. So there is a purpose for which every one of us is created. You are created for a purpose. I am created for a purpose. The question is, what is that purpose? Are you created specifically to lend your voice to others? Are you created specifically to lend your mind to others? Or are you created just to be a trouble to someone else? Just to be a pain on someone else? Think about it. This life goes beyond what you see. It goes beyond what you know. You have to stand out and make the best part of your life this moment. You have to stop existing and start living. The Bible said he who wants his life has to lose it. So you have to really go deep down to really know what it is. Because for every struggle, there is a purpose. You can't just exist in this life. You have to try to live. You have to live. You have to live. I told myself that I'm not going to just sit down and do nothing. I have to find what my purpose is. And when I start speaking to people, they tell me, yo boy, this is what you are. And sometimes in life you can't see what you have in you. Sometimes in life you don't notice what lies within you. That's why it's easy for your pastor, for your prophet, for your bishop to see you and say, guy, you have this light in you. Because sometimes we can't see what's around us. God gave people eyes to see what lies in you. So when I started speaking at public places, when I started talking to people on seminars, media houses, I started seeing that purpose fulfilling in my life. Because sometimes we have to talk. We have to say what we want and keep on saying it and saying it and saying it until it manifests in our lives and it comes out to be what we have said. Because whether you like it or not, your purpose lies within you. And most times, even if you can see it, there is always someone out there to see it and let you know. We all have purpose. We all have that green light in us that shines so bright, and then it touches other people, and then the beauty of life comes alive in them. You impact upon people what God has imparted on you, and that's the major reason why we are created, to give ourselves away. If you can't touch people's lives, then you just came here to exist. It doesn't matter how much you have, or what position you are, or what this or that you've possessed. But if you can impact yourself on one individual, then you just came here to live. Because every little thing we do to one individual, we do it to a generation and generation and generations to come. I was close by the seashore, just thinking about life, and all of a sudden I saw fishes dancing out of the river, and then they were all on the floor struggling for survival. The first thing that came to my mind was to pick up these fishes and start throwing them back into the river. And a little girl came and held my hands and said, "Why are you doing that?" And I looked at the little girl. I said, "Because I do not want these creatures to die." And the little girl turned around and looked at me in the eye and said, "What's the difference if they live today or die today?" And I looked at the little girl and smiled. I said, if they live today, they will see tomorrow. But if they don't live today, then tomorrow will never come. So if you don't impact a life today, tomorrow may not come for that one individual, for that man, for that woman, for that girl, for that boy, for that student, for that business owner, the beggar on the streets. If you can touch one life, then you just came to this life to exist. And it doesn't matter your position, it doesn't matter where you are. If you can impact one life, then you are nobody. Some of you wake up in the morning and say, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to have $1 million, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to become this, I want to become that. After a while, you jump into it, you start doing it, and then all of a sudden you jump out of it and then move to something else, and from there you move to another thing, and from there you want to move to another thing. Hold it. If you want to find yourself, you have to go to the one who created you. The one who created you for a purpose. And if you're not living in that purpose, then you are not living the life you're supposed to live. How can you do well outside of what you were created to do? You find out that a lot of people move into business, a kind of business, and then they jump out of it. They go into another business and then they jump out of it. They go into something else and then they jump out of it. That is the reason. It's because you've not found your purpose. You have to hold up, stay back, and listen to yourself. There is something inside of you that is telling you this is what you should be doing. And trust me, we all have it inside of us. There is this tiny little voice in your head telling you what you are supposed to be doing. And if you don't put yourself out there to start doing it, you will never be satisfied with whatever you're doing. Until you walk in your purpose, you will never be happy. So make the decision today to find your purpose. Make the decision today to know and to live in that purpose. Time you are now is the best time to ever be you. The time you are now is the best time to execute and take up what you are supposed to do. Each and every one of us has a purpose. And if we can't live that purpose, then life has defeated us. Live your purpose today and be glad you did in the end.